Good morning my dear students. Today we are going to deal about the scope and content of geography as well as the geomorphology. As my dear students, you have taken one of the option as the geography. It is very necessary to know about the content as well as the scope of the geography, and also you are dealing with the geomorphology in your first semester. It is also very necessary to know about the scope and content of the geomorphology as well. If you look at the geography as a discipline, it has a long history with roots way back or tracing back to the ancient civilization. If you look at the Indian knowledge system, which has been contributed in each and every subject, in the same way the Indian knowledge system has contributed a lot for the development of the geography subject. So just I will give one example how the Indian knowledge system has been contributed for the development of the geography subject. For example, you see that the geography, which can be termed as the Bhugol Shastra in Sanskrit, which is a combination of the both the words Bhu, which represents the earth, and the Gol, which represents the earth. So Gol, which represents the round shape. That means at that particular time, which indicating the knowledge of the Indian scholars of the earth's spherical shape long before ago, when the other cultures have thought that they believe that the earth in the flat flat earth. So that's how the beauty of the Indian knowledge system, which has been contributed to the geographical development. For that matter, you can take any topic in the geography like equinoxes or the solstices or the time frame analysis. For that matter, anything, the Indian knowledge system have contributed a lot, which has been not been recorded, which has not been there in the book. This is the where we have to explore the things. So why I have given here, why I have given the statement that if any student is having the interest towards this, the exploration of the Indian knowledge system, and if anyone wants to establish the linkage between Indian knowledge system as well as the development of the geography sector, they can go and they can explore that. So coming to the part of academic part of the geography, if you look at the geographic subject, so in the geographical thought there will be the clear cut explanation that how the development or how the geography subject has been developed in the different stages. So just before that, just I want to give the peripheral knowledge about the what is geography, what is the scope of the geography, career scope of the geography, as well as the content and the scope of the geomorphology as well. So let us start the geography. So what is geography? Actually, the geography term, which was coined by the Eratosthenes, he is the Greek scholar. He belongs to the 3rd century. The time period of the Eratosthenes is something like 276 to 194 BC. So look at the meaning. So try to remember the meaning by interpreting the word itself. So geography, which is a combination of the both the words geo as well as the graphos. Geo, which represents the earth, wherein graphos, which represents the description. Thus we can say that geography meaning thereby the description of the earth's surface. So what is there on the earth's surface? Then again question will come. So when we are saying that the geography is description of the earth's surface, then what is there on the earth's surface? Then the question comes like this. So what is there on the earth's surface? On the earth's surface we do have the physical entities and the human phenomena. There will be the environment on the earth's surface. So due to this interaction between this physical phenomena and the human phenomena and the environment, there is a creation of the landscapes. So the creation of the landscapes which have been evolved due to such type of interactions can also be read in the geography. So for every subject there is the stages of the development. For geography is also not exception to that. So geography has been developed in the form of different stages like ancient, medieval stage and the modern stages. So you can see here in the ancient stage, the Greek scholars have contributed a lot for the development of the geography subject, wherein we can say that the Roman period we have contributed to the development of the geography subject can be treated as the medieval period. In the coming to the part of the modern period, if you look at that, most of the theory theories, you know, radicalism, quantitative revolution, positivism, most of the theories have come into the picture in the development process of the geography subject in the modern era. So at the same time, simultaneously, most of the schools of the thought like Britain school of thought, German school of thought have come into the picture in the process of development of the geography in the modern era. So that's how the geography subject has been developed from ancient to modern. Now this is one point we have to remember here, that in the ancient period, geography used to give the answer for what and where the question. For example, I'll explain you. And in the modern era, you know, after age of discovery, after over a due period of time, the geography subject is giving answer to the question like why. So now overall we can say that geography will give the answer to the three questions: what, where and why, and which can be explained by, I'll give the one example so that you can understand very easily. For example, our Indian subcontinent is experiencing the tropical monsoon climate, isn't it? So why the Indian subcontinent is experiencing tropical monsoon climate? So that is a climatic variation. The why, the answer for why question will be given by the geography subject along with what and where. So in due course of time, what has been the definition of the geography has been changed from what to where to why. So now this is the amalgamation of the three questions. That means if you read the geography, you will get the answer for the three questions like what and the where and the why. So that's how the geography is the scientific study of the earth's physical features, as I've discussed earlier, environment and human societies, as well as the interactions between them. Due to these interactions only, landscapes will be evolved on the earth's surface. So that's how the geography is aimed to study, to understand the spatial relationships and the pattern and the process which shape the physical as well as the natural as well as the human world, which will bridge the gap between the physical as well as the social sciences. Now this is the beautiful picture. You can see how the geography subject has been developed from the ancient to modern world. So now the definition, if you come to the part of the definition of the geography, till now what I have explained is that, so what is geography, how it has come to the picture, how the development has taken place in the geography subject from the ancient period to the modern period, isn't it? So now if you go for the definition of the geography has been given by the different scholars in the different way. You can see now, according to Bowman, who is a scholar, he said that the geography tells what is where and why and what is made of. According to Richard Hunshone, he said that the geography is a discipline that seeks to describe and interpret the variable character from place to place of the earth as a world of man. So that's how the different definitions have been given by the different scholars regarding the geography definition. Now coming to the picture, like then now nature of the geography. Then what is the nature of the geography? See, till now you have described, you have learned about what is geography. Then what is the nature of the geography? If you know the nature of the geography, you will connect the subject very easily. So if you look at the nature of the geography, the significance of the geography is that it suggests or it signifies the location as well as the spatial relation of the things and the events. Why I am saying the location and spatial relations? As the modern era is started, as I said you that the geography has been developed in the different stages from ancient to modern, isn't it? So in the recent periods, in the geography definition, there is a inclusion of the both spatial tools like the remote sensing as well as the GIS, which stands for the Geographical Information System. So due to inclusion of these two tools, the spatial tools, the definition has been changed in such a way that we are able to identify all the things on the earth's surface spatially, isn't it? That is the reason the significance of the geography is a significance of location as well as the spatial related to things as well as the event. And the second question, as we have discussed, that geography will provide the answers to the what, where and why in the particular places of the particular phenomena or particular topic. Okay, then we can say that the third point is that geography is the art and science. Then why we are calling it as geography as a art? Because in the previous days, you go back to 1960s or the 70s, what happened is that the geography in every phenomena will be represented by the map. So in the previous days, what we used to do while we are doing the, while we are if you want to represent any map, we use it to draw with the hands. So drawing with the hands is known as it is something like art. So everyone will not be perfect at good at drawing, isn't it? So that is the reason why we are calling geography as art. Then why we are calling it as science? Because though geography is the methodology of the geography quite differs from the other sciences, but it is termed as a science because geography is a interdisciplinary course. Now I will explain you with the beautiful diagram. You can see now how the geography is interdisciplinary or synthesis of all the sciences. Now you can understand that from the geology you will know the geomorphology, which is one of the paper which we read in the geography. You can go according to meteorology sciences, you will get the climatology subject, you will get the urban studies, you will get the urban geography paper. From the economics, you will get the economic geography paper. From the health sciences, you will get the medical geography paper. In the anthropology and sociology, you will get the cultural geography paper. So that's how the beauty of the geography is, that it is interdisciplinary sciences, because you will, if you read the geography, you will have the peripheral knowledge about all the sciences which I have described now. You will have the knowledge of the geology, you will have the knowledge of the meteorology, you will now have the knowledge of the urban studies and the health sciences and the economics and the anthropology and the sociology. That's how the beauty of the geography. Now in the nature of the geography itself, the geography deals, or in the geography we are concerned about four spheres, like we study about the lithosphere, we study about the hydrosphere, we study about the atmosphere, as well as we study about the biosphere. So this is how the nature of the geography. So if you look at the geography, which not only study the variation in the phenomena, we are not only study the variation in the phenomena, but also we study the factors which are responsible for those variations of the phenomena. So try to understand, my dear students, the geography not only deals with the variations in the phenomena, but also we read the factors which are responsible for those variations of the phenomena. So that's how, for example, cropping pattern is differs from one place to another place, isn't it? So why that cropping pattern is differs from one place to another place, the factors which are responsible for those variation in the cropping pattern will be read in the geography. That's how the beauty of the geography. Now as I have discussed you earlier, that in the recent days, the two tools which have been included in the geography definition, due to which the entire definition of the geography has been changed. What are those two tools? Those are remote sensing as well as the geographical information system. For that matter, I can say that the entire spatial technology has been included in the geography subject, so that the definition of the geography has been dynamic. It is a dynamic in nature now. So the spatial here is something, it is not related with the astronomy of the space, it is related with the physical or the real space. Then what we will read? The distribution of anything on the earth surface, that is physical space, will going to read in the geography. So that's how the nature of the geography. If you go for the importance of the geography, so if you read the geography, it will have the research platform, n number of opportunities if you want to go into the research field, and you will understand the world, you will increase or you will enhance the knowledge as well as your skills, and you will due to increase that knowledge, you will have that problem solving skills and the practical application and the global perspectives and the resource management and what not. Obviously you are having the interdisciplinary knowledge. So due to to that interdisciplinary knowledge, you will take the decision making in a, your decision will be properly taken with the help of all these interdisciplinary knowledge as well as the decision making tools which have been added recently in the geography. That's how the importance of the geography. Now, if you want to establish any relationship with the geography with other subject, it, as I have discussed you, that the geography itself is the interdisciplinary subject. So, whenever the interdisciplinary subject is there, for that matter you will gain the knowledge of those peripheral knowledge of those subjects also which has been provided here. Okay. Now, the geography students hold the key to the world's problems like population growth, global migration and the energy crisis, global warming, extreme weather events, sea level rise, resource depletion, deforestation. That means in the geography, whatever the problems which I have mentioned, you will having the solution. If you read the geography, you will come up with the solution. Because why you will get the solution in the geography? Because you will read with the what, where and why it is. So, if any problem, if we get the solution why the problem is causing, then automatically the solution is there in our hands. So, that is how the geography will contribute to get the problem, global issues. So, what is the purpose of the geography? As I have discussed in the definition itself, geography deals with the description of the earth's surface. What is there on the description? Physical entity, environment, human phenomena, interaction of these all things will create the landscapes. So, this study of these everything will be included in the geography, and thus we can say that there is an interrelationship between man as well as the environment. So, by reading these two factors, man and the environment, and why and what and where these factors, so the importance of the geography has been enhanced in such a way that the purpose is that this disciplines gives us the flexibility to study the geography through the lens of the spatial perspective. What is the spatial perspective actually? As I have said you that the recent tools which have been remote sensing as well as the geographical information system have been included in the geography, due to which this perception has been changed from static to the dynamic, like we can see the any subject, or we have that flexibility to study any subject for that matter from through the lens of the spatial perspective. That is the purpose of the geography. Now, you can see that how the various applications of the geography, you can go through with the geography by addition of the geographical or geospatial tools in the geography. You can go for the geography as a vegetation to study the vegetation types and the vegetation climate and the what do we call diastrophic regimens and the earth observation. Different applications we are having if you read the geography subjects, isn't it? So, now this is where why I have included this photograph or this image into your PPT is that, see, when I am saying that the recent spatial technologies like remote sensing and the geographical information system both have been added to the geography subject. So, for the different application, different types of satellites have been launched into the orbit to get the information, isn't it? After getting the information in the form of satellite images, with the help of the GIS techniques, we will interpret the information. For this interpretation or the decision making, what you need apart from the geospatial skills, you need the geographic skills. For every geospatial technology, there is the basis of the geography subject. That is the importance of the geography. So, if you know along with the geography as well as the geospatial technology, the people or the individuals having the plenty of opportunities and they can make utilize of that opportunities. So, that is how the beauty of the geospatial technology which has been added to the geography. Now, if you go for the scope of the geography, as I have discussed earlier itself, now it will understand the changing the spatial structure from past to future, as well as the scope of the geography has been included or extended with the inclusion of the spatial technology. It will also helpful in the day-to-day life in the sectors like the tourism as well as the housing and health related activities. If you look at the career scope of the geography, my dear student, I want to clear about the career scope of the geography. in the private sector as well as the public sector, you will have the plenty of opportunities in the geography. The condition is that you should be good at, or you should be thorough at the geography as well as the geospatial technology. Let me tell you how the geography, career scope of the geography in public sector. For example, whatever our state government is conducting the, for that matter any state government which is conducting the exams like the group 1, group 2, group 3 and group 4. Recently group 3 exams have been conducted by the state government, wherein in the general studies they have covered 15 to 20 bits of the geography. Now you can imagine what is the significant role of the geography is playing in the competitive exams who one wants to crack the group 1, group 2, group 3 and group 4. Even apart from the state exam, geography subject is also playing a significant or the important role in the UPSC exam which are conducted by the central government every year. If you take the option as a geography, you will have the plenty of opportunity in the public sector. Coming to the part of private sector, that is career scope of the geography in private sector, you will, with the addition of the spatial technology in every private field, every private field is using the geographical information system and the remote sensing technology, where the people or the individuals who are having the basic knowledge of the geography will be given priority. So that's how in every private sector, you can take a government sector also, in the forest department, in agriculture department, in any company, you can take n number of opportunities are there with you. The condition is that you should be thorough for the subject, or you should be good at the basics. Without basic knowledge, just if you ran away with the spatial technology, the decision might be not be proper and the opportunity might not be you will be not given priority to get that opportunity. But with the inclusion of your basic knowledge along with the spatial technology, you are the individual given priority for that particular domains, different domains. So that's how I want to say that in the next slide. So these are the career opportunities with the geography which can be represented in a beautiful image. So you can see now, in every environment you can take, in the land resource management you can take, in water management you can take, for that matter any type of resource management, the spatial technology as well as the geography, both are advantage. So if you read both the things, you are be employable, you will get the employment opportunities in your geography subject. And wherever in if you include some of the job opportunities have been mentioned over here, if you read with the geography, you are good at the cartographer, environmental consultant, town planner, landscape architect, hydrologist, meteorologist, pollution analysis and whatnot in every field. If you go beyond this, this is the pure geography and this is the field scope, what is field scope and what is cartographer, what is environmental consultant, what is town planner and what are the techniques which are the tools used by the geographer while doing the purpose of the job. So this have been mentioned over here, you can go through with this. Okay, now as we have added the geographical information system, the employment opportunities have been enhanced. Apart from traditional geography, the enhancement of the employment opportunities in the by inclusion of the remote sensing and the GIS in every field. As you can see that now many fields are there. In the land management you can use, in the geoprocessing modeling you can use, spread and definition you can use, and the facility management you can use, and the resource exploration you can use, logistic routing you can use. For now, why you are taking, you can take the live example that, so before when any individual will use the GPS system or the Google Maps, isn't it? So while you are traveling, it will be seen the line feature in that. So that the background of the Google Maps, it is something like the GIS, geographical information system. So whatever the routes are there on the earth surface, they have been digitized by using the GIS software, which is done by the geographer or the GIS analyst. For the GIS analyst, the basics of the GIS analysis is nothing but the geography. This is the live example which I am telling you, okay, because everyone will use the Google Maps, everyone will use the images. So that's how I am giving you the live example. So in every field, GIS will be used in such a way that the scope of the geography has been increased by using this spatial technology. Now coming to the part of, till now we have discussed about the scope and the content of the geography. Now as you have come across the geomorphology in your first semester, let me tell you the few things about the geomorphology, because the geography subject basically divided into two major branches like physical geography as well as the human geography. The physical geography includes climatology, oceanography, biogeography as well as the geomorphology. Geomorphology is the core subject of the physical geography, isn't it? So the next part is that human geography. As I have said you that geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, these all are been included in the physical geography. Again the biogeography has been divided into phytogeography and the zoogeography, which is a different concept. I don't want to go into the details of that, just my concentration is on the geomorphology. So let me tell you another part of the geography, which is another branch of the geography called as the human geography. In the human geography, you will read the social or the cultural geography, population geography, economic geography, historical geography as well as the political geography. I am not going into the details what is social geography, what is population geography and what is economic geography, because as the semesters, in the coming semesters, you will come to know each and every subject very clearly. My point is that now just I want to deal with the geomorphology, which is the branch, which is a part of the physical geography, which is a major one of the major branch of the geography. Geography, which has been divided into physical and the human geography. Again physical geography has been divided into 4 subjects, among which geomorphology is one of them. Okay. So now what is meant by geomorphology? So as I said you in the first itself, try to interpret the meaning by the word itself so that you can remember it is very easily, isn't it? So as we have interpreted the meaning of the geography from the geography word, in the same way or in the similar way, we can interpret the meaning of the geomorphology by the word itself. Geo, morphs and logy. Geo is something like, as I have said you earlier, geo represents the earth, morphos means forms and the logos means discourse or discourse. It in overall, what is included in the definition of the geomorphology? Landforms, earth surface, origin and development and all. Then how can we define the geomorphology now? The geomorphology can be defined as it is a description or the interpretative description of the landforms. Why they have been landforms? Of the landforms, how we are describing? We are describing in terms of its origin, geomorphic process which leave the landforms. So the geomorphology word has been popularized after the William Morris Davis proposed the geographical cycle, which is known as the Davis cycle. So in the geomorphology, what we will learn? So most of the landforms which have been taken place or the originated due to the two processes, deposition as well as the erosion, and the different climatic environments will produce the different types of landscapes. So for that matter, on the basis of the scale, the landforms have been categorized into 3 orders. First order landforms are continents and ocean. Second orders are the plateaus, plains and the mountains. The third order landforms are valleys and canyons and dunes. So try to remember that I have said that the different climatic environment will produce the different types of landforms, and where the erosional and deposition will features are different in different landforms, isn't it? For example, in the sand, for the generation of the landform, there are 2 forces which are responsible for that, endogentic as well as the exogentic forces. The endogentic forces are the forces which are within the earth, which will act within the earth, wherein exogentic forces will work on the surface of the earth. So that's how both the forces are responsible for the different generation of the landforms on the earth surface as well as the geomorphic processes. By this I think you have come to conclusion that we can come to conclusion that, for example, in the wind or the air, wind or the climate, these are the different exogentic forces, for that matter water, these all are exogentic force, different exogentic forces which are act, due to which they will generate the different types of the landforms on the earth surface with the geomorphic processes. That's how today we have learned about the, you will learn the different types of continental theory, plate tectonics theory, and the geomorphic processes, and the landforms which are due to glacial topography, landforms due to winds, landform due to coastal area. So these all you will be discussed in the geomorphology. So that's how the scope and content of the geography as well as the geomorphology have learned today. And furthermore, in the next classes you will learn about how the continental rift theory and the plate tectonic theory have been responsible for the creation of the continents as well as the oceans. Thank you so much.